Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching the hottest sports podcast in the South, the best damn sports podcast, period. This is. Do you feel the vibes? Yo, what is up? Welcome to an overreaction Monday right here on Sentell's Intel. You know what it is. We're gonna dive into all the games that were played over the weekend. Had some nice NFL games. Had some good college football games as well. Got some baseball going on today. Had two one-game playoffs to win divisions today in baseball. We had the Brewers already defeated the Cubs, so they are your National League Central winners. Right now, the Dodgers lead the Rockies late in that ball game, so it looks like my Atlanta Braves will be traveling to LA to face the Dodgers. Could have been hosting this series if we had took care of business over the weekend, but lost 2 out of 3 to the Philadelphia Phillies, and here we are now having to go on the road to take on the Dodgers. Again, welcome into the program. You already know who I am, the sensational Sentell Wideman, and I am in the building. Cannot wait to hear from some of you guys today because it's Overreaction Monday. This is your day to call in and tell me how great you think your team is or how bad you think your team is. Hey, you know, it's always good to come in here on a Monday after you get a win. You know, my NFL team didn't get a win, but that was to be expected, you know, without my starting quarterback. But shout out to C.J. Beathard and the rest of the team yesterday because, you know, they played really well despite the circumstances. So, hey, let's get right into the show. First, let me get a couple announcements out of the way before we go on. Friday. Sentell's Intel will be live in Calhoun Falls from the practice field for Alumni Day, and also that is homecoming for my alma mater. Calhoun Falls Blue Flashes will take on the McCormick Chiefs October 5th. So check me out. Be broadcasting live. We'll start that at 5 o'clock from right there on the practice field. Alumni Day Part 2. Did this last year. It was awesome. It was a huge success. Shout out to Wendy, McDuffie, Cassius, Murray, and Sean Coleman for putting that together last year, and we're doing it again this year. Bigger and better. Hope for a better turnout. I already told you, class 2001, I need better from you. I need more from you. That was not good last year. I need more from the class of 2001. I need you to be there in full force. So, again, so that's the announcement. Also, we have a big, huge Monday night football game tonight. AFC West rivals, Denver. 2-1 take on the 3-0 Kansas City Chiefs. We all know Pat Mahomes has just 13 TDs in 3 games, so he's been spectacular. So that should be a great matchup. So let's move on, and then we'll dive into some of the college games in depth. And I'll turn over the phone lines real quick because I want to get you guys input on the games, and I can see your comments as well, and I'll show you just minutes that you can do while you're listening and watching the program, and should help for your viewing experience. But let's kind of get into. I got a couple of takes that I want to make regarding this weekend and what I saw in football and other things as well. But let me get a few takes in here over some things that I saw. Bear with me. So, Penn State took on Ohio State this weekend. Really good football game. 2 top 10 ranked teams back and forth all night. And we come down toward the end of the game. It's 27-26 Ohio State. Penn State's driving the ball. It is 4th and 5 from the Ohio State 43-yard line, and this is what they came up with.
Gotta hurry. Just get it off. Sanders, smothered. Chase Young, another big play. Ohio State makes a stop and takes over.
Now, if you didn't see the play, I told you it was 4th and 5. They ran the ball. They ran the ball on 4th and 5. Now, after taking 2 timeouts, not 1 timeout, they took 2 timeouts and they ran the ball. I still cannot believe what I saw. James Franklin, bruh, Pete Carroll thinks that was a bad call. He knows something about bad calls. So, in case you didn't see it, Penn State loses to Ohio State 27-26. We'll get more in depth into some of the stats and all that later on. But just wanted to point out one of the most egregious play calls I've ever seen in football. 4th and 5, and Trace McSorley had been outstanding up to that point. And to run the ball, I don't get it. Also, over the weekend, yesterday, Seattle Seahawks safety Earl Thomas was injured, a fractured lower leg, and as he was leaving the stadium, he gave your number 1 sign up to the Seattle Seahawks bench. And if you haven't been following, he's been upset all year, all summer long, trying to get a new deal, new contract, guaranteed monies, and this is absolutely the reason why. This is why he was trying to get a new contract. This is why he was trying to get more money. This is why guys hold out. I cannot figure out why you fans who tend to side with billionaire owners. I don't get it. This is why Le'Veon Bell is holding out. This is why. Because in this sport, it takes 1 play and you can be done. The average lifespan is 3.5 seasons in the NFL. So this is why guys hold out. That's the only leverage that they have. So now Earl Thomas has a fractured lower leg. I'm thinking he's 30, a little older. He's never going to get the money that he's just lost. So now what? What does he do? See, this is why he hold out. This is why he's upset. This is why he's angry at the Seattle Seahawks front office for this exact reason. And yes, great point. And lastly, they say you should give your gifts and hugs and kisses to people before they leave this earth. That's what they say you should do. So with that, I'm gonna give my hugs and my kisses and my love and adoration to the Pittsburgh Steelers because they are dying. And soon to be dead. I told you 2 years ago, I've seen this coming. The destruction, the downfall of the Pittsburgh Steelers as we currently know them. And it's happening right in front of our faces. It's happening. They are no longer a championship contender as presently constructed. Big Ben is showing signs of decline. Le'Veon is not there. Antonio is upset at every pass that does not come in his area code. And Mike Tomlin has seemingly lost the locker room and the franchise. They are on life support, so I am here to give you my flowers and my hugs and my kisses and my love and adoration while you're still alive, because you are dying and you will soon be dead. Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, those are some of my hot takes from over the weekend. Let's move into some college football right after this. Hey, here we are. Football. Let's talk about some college football. Before I do that, let me show you this nice little feature that I got. This nice little feature that I just came up with. It's nice. It's really nice because I see my man Kevin Harkness is in here, getting in here on this chat line. Let me show him that he can look and see that he chatted. He chatted with me. He can see his name up there. So, hey, make you feel special. As a viewer of the show, you can see your name and see your comments and in my chat box. There you go. Now you can see it. You can see the whole world can see you chat right there. That makes you feel good about yourself. Yeah, the Chiefs was about to sign Earl Thomas. We're going to trade for him. Now he's done. No money. Out for the season. Who knows if he'll be the same again? Because, I mean, he's getting older. Second leg, lower injury. So, feel bad for Earl Thomas, man. I really do. So, there you go. You can see your name up there and be impressed with that. So quickly, let me here. I'll be back over here. Um, College football. Where do we want to start? What do we want to talk about? What do we want to talk about? Phone lines are not open because this is your part. This is Overreaction Monday, so this is your part of the program where you can call, you can comment, you can tell me what you saw, what you didn't see, what you like, what you didn't like, who's the best, who's the worst, all of that good stuff you can do right here. Let's kind of start right there in Death Valley. Interesting game. There was an interesting week. Tigers for all week. What was going on with Kelly Bryant, the quarterback situation, and then the game came. Trevor Lawrence didn't play as well as they thought he probably would. Then he gets hurt. They have to turn to Chase Bryce. He comes in. They trail early, but they go on a 94-yard drive and come back and beat Syracuse in a really, really good game up in Clemson. I don't know what to tell you, people. I don't really know what to tell you, Clemson. I don't know what to tell you. Looks like Trevor Lawrence should be back. They're calling it a neck strain. But I thought Travis Etienne was, he was outstanding. 27 carries, 200 yards, 3 TDs. Kind of carried the mail a little bit and saved them, put them out of the fire. But I thought Syracuse kind of let Clemson get off the hook there. But kudos to Clemson for making some plays down the stretch and coming back and taking the game 27-23. That's that. Let's see. Biggest game of the weekend, obviously, we just talked a little bit about it. Ohio State, Penn State. What an atmosphere it was in Happy Valley. They had a whiteout. Loud. It was raucous. It was all of those things that James Franklin wanted it to be. Dwayne Haskins kind of showed his, first time being on the road in a really hostile environment against a really good football team. Struggled early, but managed to come back late in the second half and throw 2 TD passes in the last 7 minutes. So he showed some moxie to bring his team all the way back. I told you Chase McSorley was great. Now, he didn't throw it percentage-wise. He wasn't great, but he ran it for 175 yards. I mean, the little guy was just making plays all over the field, getting first downs when they were needed, all of that good stuff from Chase McSorley. But it came down to that play call, 4th and 5 in Ohio State 43. We examined it earlier, saw what happened. So Ohio State gets out of there with a win. They remain undefeated. Stanford, Notre Dame. Notre Dame, wow. They may have found them a quarterback. Ian Book was good again after being good last week against Wake Forest. When they beat Stanford 38-17, he throws for 4 TDs, 278 yards. They get Dexter Williams back from suspension, who hasn't played all year. He rushed for 21 carries, 161 yards, and a touchdown. So they look formidable. They hold Bryce Love to 73 yards, but he had a 39-yard TD run. If you take the 39-yard TD run out, he goes for only 16 for 34 yards. So great job by them limiting Bryce Love in the run game. So Notre Dame, look out for the Irish. They look legit. They did lose one of their premier offensive linemen. I think he's out for the season. So that may hurt them moving forward. But big up to Notre Dame. They look like a team that can compete and got a chance to get to that playoffs. The Gamecocks. Hold up, bear with me. Woo! Went into Kentucky. They had lost 4 years in a row to the Wildcats, and they just got manhandled. I told you last week. Kentucky up front is physical and nasty. They can run on you and they can stop the run. And they stopped the run. and they ran it. They do what they do. But this is not about the run game now, because we all knew, we thought that Kentucky could run the football and that Carolina probably couldn't slow them down. But we want to talk about Mr. Jake Bentley. It's time. Gamecocks fan, it is time. You know, I asked this question a few weeks ago after the Georgia game. Is it time to move on from Jake Bentley? It is time to start having this conversation about Jake Bentley, because we can no longer use the fact that he graduated 1 year early and he should be in high school. He shouldn't have been in college. He should have been in high school. We heard that for like 2 years. Like, okay. Now he's in his third year, over 20 plus starts, and I do not see any progression at all, especially against quality opponents right now. I mean, he goes 13 of 28 for a mere 148 yards, and he throws 3 INTs. Ugly Gamecock fan. If you out there watching, I need you to call in and comment. I need you. Where are we? Where are we as it relates to Jake Bentley right now? Are we off the Jake Bentley train? Where are we going forward? What the Gamecocks fan want? I seen some. They want the backup, Scarnacchio. I don't think that's the answer, but hey, at this point, what you got to try something. I mean, as long as you're playing lesser opponent, it seems as if Jake Bentley does very well against lesser opponents. But big games, ranked teams, he has not handled it well at all. Not a little bit. DeMarcus Banks says, yes, to carry on Jonah should get a shot. I don't know how far he along with his development. I think in a perfect world, they're probably wanting the red shirt. I'm probably sure red shirt at this moment, but would you pull the red shirt off of him? I'm sure they don't want to do that because he's a kid that was kind of raw out of high school, so I'm sure they want to just red shirt him in a perfect world, and it would have been a perfect world had Jake Bentley lived up to what we thought Jake Bentley was supposed to be, because he has not lived up to his billing. He has not backed up all of his talking. He has not done any of that stuff that he said he was gonna do, or that he says he was going to, that he said on Twitter. He has done none of it. Zero. But then Carolina. I mean, obviously, you got the highly touted quarterback coming in next year from out West Coast, the Helitsky, I think his name. He'll be there next year. So you look at him. So would Jordan ever even get a look at quarterback? Because he's definitely a great athlete. Will he ever even get a look at quarterback? Considering that you had that guy coming in, I think the Jake Bentley experiment is over. I mean, he has some more games this year to kind of to prove himself, to do some good things. But I think this experiment is over. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Mr. KDD. Keep in mind you got 4 games to burn through, so you can at least give Jonah a shot to see if he's ready. Absolutely, because I don't think I've seen him play at all in no game. So you're right. So you have that luxury of playing him 4 games. Now, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's the first 4 games or just a random 4 games that you have that accessibility, but I haven't seen him at all. So you wonder if he's going to ever even get a shot again with the quarterback coming in next year, who's highly touted. It looks like one of those guys. Even though Jonah did go to Elite 11, he didn't make the finals, but he competed against some of the best quarterbacks in the nation. He was raw, but I don't know what they want to do. I do know that they are ready to get rid of Jake Bentley. I know that they want to get rid of Jake Bentley. That is as clear as I can possibly make it, because he's looked horrendous, man, and there's no other way to put that. There's no other way to sugarcoat that. He's just not been good. He's just not been good in good games at all. Um, Again, 13 of 28 for a buck. For 148 yards. 148 yards with the receivers and playmakers that they have. It's just not good. It's not good. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Um, so there you go. Couple more. Let's do some. Hmm, let's run through some ACC. A few ACC scores. You had Florida State over Louisville, and one of the most just a crazy football game. Uh, a game which Louisville had no business losing, and Florida State had zero business winning. But this is football. Sometimes things happen and things go crazy, and you cannot explain it. And those are one of those things. But Florida State gets the win. They move to 3. They move to 3-2. Wake Forest beats Rice 56-24. Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech. Now, I don't know what to make of Virginia Tech. I have no idea who Virginia Tech is. I don't know. Last week they lose to Old Dominion. This week, with the backup quarterback, they go down to Duke and it just handled the Blue Devils, who were playing really good football. They just handled them and dominated them. So I don't know what to make of Virginia Tech. I absolutely do not know what to make of Virginia Tech at all. Auburn win. We stay in the ACC, right? Stay in the ACC. Nah, let's move to the SEC. Tennessee and Georgia. Georgia was sluggish in this game. They offensively they didn't do some good. They didn't. Jake Fromm has really not played well. You know, I thought they would crush Tennessee and just put up a big number. They scored 38 points, but Justin Fields had to come in the game. He scored 2 touchdowns. They ran it pretty well, but the passing game doesn't look as crisp as I thought it would look. Jake Fromm has not looked like I thought he would look. And they went 38-12. They did. Defense was very stout. They kind of held Tennessee at check all day. There's really no threat from Tennessee whatsoever. But the Georgia people, let me know if there's some concern with Georgia right now. I'm not as, I still think they're up there. I think they just kind of meddling along. But I need to see Jake Fromm, and I need to see this offense get a little bit better before I can keep singing the praises of Georgia. But they beat Tennessee, which is it's Tennessee. I don't know what else you want from me. LSU beats Ole Miss 45-16. Setting up a huge game this week. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Auburn gets a win over Southern Miss. Vanderbilt beats Tennessee State. So that's it for the ACC and SEC. I'm sure a couple of teams in there. NC State's playing good football. They're undefeated. Can't forget about the Wolfpack. Their schedule will start getting a little tougher as the weeks move along. Let me speak about Mackenzie Milton. If you don't know Mackenzie Milton, he plays for Central Florida. He's really, really good. Through 4 games right now, he had 13 TDs, over 1,200 yards passing. That's in 4 games because they missed a game due to the hurricane. But he's as good as it gets. 5'11", just a little guy, but he can throw it, he can run it, he can do a lot of good things. They just blasted Pitt. They just blasted him 45-14. Game was never even close. So check out Mackenzie Milton if you can sometimes. Let's get some Big Ten scores in here. I mentioned Ohio State obviously got a win, but I really want to focus on Purdue and Nebraska. I know what you're thinking. Purdue and Nebraska. I want to focus on Purdue and Nebraska. Purdue wins the game, 42-28. Go on the road, put up 42 points. But what I want to focus on is Scott Frost. Scott Frost right now at Nebraska is 0-4. Now they missed the first game, got rained out, lightning, whatever. But they are 0-4. They got beat down by Michigan 2 weeks ago. They get beat down by Purdue this week. So, Willie Taggart was on this hot seat for a little while, and Florida State, by all means, hasn't looked great at all. They haven't looked great at all. But there are two coaches that have not gotten the same kind of heat that Willie Taggart has received. And one is Scott Frost, and the other is Chip Kelly at UCLA. They are winless as well. So they're 0-5. Nebraska's 0-4. So those are two new coaches who are not getting a lot of at new places, or who are not getting a lot of flack right now. That should be, you're gonna give Willie Taggart a lot of flack that he received early on, then you damn sure better give Nebraska and Scott Frost some flack, and you damn sure better give Chip Kelly and UCLA some flack because they stink. They stink. They are terrible. There's a report from ESPN that says Le'Veon Bell is expected to join the Steelers week 7. I don't believe that. There is no reason to return in week 7. There's no benefit to returning week 7 at all. I think he has week 10 where you can return, where he can show up and still get his money. So I just don't see him showing up week 7. I mean, it's been 4 weeks. I just don't see him showing up. I don't even know why he would show up. I mean, how can I walk in that locker room after what those guys said about him? Into that chaos, into that mess that's going on right now. They are awful. They are god awful. They made Joe Flacco look really great last night, and I didn't think that was possible. He go down the first 2 drives and get touchdowns. First two drives, Joe Flacco drives straight down the field and get 2 touchdowns against this defense is horrendous. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Pat Mahomes. They've played 4 games. The Browns. They stink. They stink. They're 1-2-1. They stink. Now, I'm off. Okay, I had them win the division. They can win it, make me look like a fool, but I'm off. I am off. I am getting off that ship because I knew it was already having, it was leaking. It was leaking holes. Holes were already in the ship, and it was already leaking a little bit. But now it's like they've hit an iceberg. They've hit an iceberg. I'm gonna grab my life jacket and I'm gonna get the hell off of here because it's going down really fast. And depending on how bad it gets, the Steelers could look a whole lot different come next season. A whole lot different. Unless they make some trades before the trade deadline, right now they are in trouble, and I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't trust them. I just wouldn't trust them. No way, no how I could trust this football team. They're just not good. They're just not any good. They're not any good at all. They're not any good. Moving along. Let's get to these the new AP top 25 since I gave you some of the notable college scores. Let's go to the top 25 rankings. AP top 25. At number 1, we all know Alabama. Two teams received first place votes again though. Ohio State and Clemson. Georgia's number 2. Ohio State's number 3. Clemson's number 4. LSU is number 5. Notre Dame is 6 after they win against Stanford. Oklahoma is number 7 after they beat Baylor. Auburn is number 8. Number 9 is West Virginia. They go on the road and get a good win this past weekend. I didn't play a really good defense. That's one of the things that I said that I want to see them do. Went to Texas Tech. Not only did they score a lot of points, but they managed to kind of keep Texas Tech under wraps a little bit, especially that first half. So kudos to the defense. Something I needed to see. Washington at number 10. Penn State falls to 11 after the loss to Ohio State. UCF has moved up to number 12. And number 13 is the Kentucky Wildcats. That is right, folks. That is not a typo. That is not misleading information. That is facts. The Kentucky Wildcats. This is not a basketball poll, by the way. This is the AP football poll, and the Kentucky Wildcats are number 13. So shout out to Mark Stoops. 14 is Stanford after their loss. Michigan is number 15. Meant to bring up Michigan. Michigan went on the road to Northwestern. I thought Michigan was finding something, and they struggled mightily against Northwestern. Trail most of the game. Took a late touchdown to beat Northwestern. So Michigan, they definitely should be in front of Wisconsin. They're in front of Wisconsin in 16. Miami is 17. The turnover train was out and about this past weekend. They get Florida State this coming weekend. So we'll definitely talk more about that on Friday's show. From the Alumni Day in Calhoun Falls. So Friday we will talk about all these games, big games on Saturday in college football, and as well as the NFL games on Sunday. So Friday, 5 o'clock. Where I left off. Oregon's 18 after an impressive win at Kyle. 19 is Texas. 4 straight wins. When Manhattan beat Kansas State this past weekend. Michigan State is 20. I don't know what to make of them. Colorado Buffaloes is at 21. Undefeated Colorado Buffaloes. At number 22, checking in. Gators at number 22. At number 23, I just mentioned NC State undefeated quietly because they were supposed to play West Virginia a couple weeks ago for the Hurricane. That would have been a really good matchup to see if we could have got to see NC State play West Virginia. So we don't really know what NC State is. Don't know what West Virginia is. So hopefully they make their game up later on in the season. And at number 24 is Virginia Tech. And at 25 is Oklahoma State. I don't know how Virginia Tech is still ranked. After you lose to Old Dominion, you should not. These are the rules. I didn't make the rules. These are the rules. You can't have them ranked after you lose to Old Dominion. You can't be right. I'm sorry. Just can't work that way. Again, there you go. If you're commenting, you can see it right up there on your phone. You can see who else is commenting as well as your own comments. Let's kind of move on to Sunday. Had some good games yesterday in the NFL. Had some really good games in the NFL. Hold up, before we do that, let's take a little pause before we get into the NFL action over the weekend. Let's take a quick pause. Now let's get into that NFL. All right. Get into it. Really good game yesterday. Not a really good game. I'm sorry. That's not the game I was looking for. Not that one. Okay, yeah, that's the game I'm looking for. Cincinnati traveled down to Atlanta. Beat the Falcons 37-36 on a late touchdown from Andy Dalton to AJ Green. For the second week in a row, the Falcons blow a game late. Defensively, they are struggling, but it's to be expected. No Keanu Neal, no Deion Jones. So defensively, the Falcons are struggling right now. That's back-to-back weeks at home that they blow a lead and lose the game late. The Bengals. I told you they are a team that they were not expected to win this game. When they're not expected to do something, this is the result. They go in and beat a really good Atlanta team in their building. I'm not, you're not fooling me. I'm not about to fall for it, okay? I don't believe it. I don't believe you. You need more people. Don't believe you at all. Not even a little bit. Don't. But good win by the Bengals. Calvin Ridley. If you haven't checked Calvin Ridley out yet, he is starting to become like Matt Ryan's go-to guy. Another 2 touchdowns yesterday. He caught 3 the week before that. So he's starting to really break out. Chicago and Tampa Bay yesterday. Mitchell Trubisky, 6 TD passes yesterday and ran for another 50-plus yards. And they just absolutely dismantled the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 48-10. Um, Jameis Winston came in the second half threw 2 interceptions. Derek Carter has already named Jameis Winston the starter for this coming week's game. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know if the Bucks that bad or is Mitchell Trubisky is arrived. I don't know what to make of that, but they just he looked like the second coming of Joe Montana yesterday. I mean, he was wonderful. And I don't know how if the playing what just happened yesterday. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened yesterday. I don't. Um, Cowboys defeated the Lions. The Cowboys had a late drive, game-winning drive to beat the Lions. That made a few plays on that last drive. Hit Zeke Elliott on a nice thrown ball down the field. Um, Not much to really talk about. Zeke had a really good game running the ball, but again, don't know what to take from this. Detroit's not very good. Dallas, I don't know, especially offensively. But Dallas got the win. So Dallas wins yesterday over Detroit. The Jags beat the Jets 31-12. New England. Miami rolled in undefeated, feeling good about themselves, 3-0, and went down and went up to New England and got the doors blown off from yesterday, 38-7. I don't even think Ryan Tannehill had 100 yards passing yesterday. Josh Gordon made his first appearance for the Patriots yesterday. But they wrote their 2 running backs yesterday. Sony Michel and James White wore the offense for the New England Patriots yesterday. Grunt got injured, so I don't know how well he will be coming week. But Sony Michel and James White and that Patriots defense keyed that victory yesterday. A little bit of a shocker yesterday. The Tennessee Titans upset the Philadelphia Eagles 26-23. In overtime, Marcus Mariota finds Corey Davis in the back of the end zone. Game-winning TD after the Philadelphia field goal in OT. I tell you one thing about the Tennessee Titans. Because week to week, I don't know who's playing quarterback. Marcus Mariota has some ailment every week. Arm, knee, I don't know. Blaine Gabbert has started some games. But their defense is really good. They compete their ass off. They really, my partner sat here last week. He picked the Titans to win. Now, obviously, he's a Titans fan, so I don't think there was no objectivity in that. But he told you that his defense was really good, and they showed it yesterday. I mean, they get down 10-3 at the half and fight their way back, claw their way back into the ball game. Tennessee Titans get it done yesterday. A fun game out in Indianapolis yesterday. The Texans and Colts. Deshaun Watson. Texans get a win 37-34 in a good old fashioned AFC South shootout. Andrew Luck threw for over 400 yards, 4 TDs, but it wasn't enough. Deshaun Watson, he passes, ran for another. Really exciting game. Indianapolis. Buffalo gets shut by Green Bay 22-0. Josh Allen, he had a rough day yesterday. He had a rough day yesterday. He looked rough yesterday. Nothing like what they did last week in Minnesota. Looked rough. Orleans beat the Giants 33-18. Alvin Kamara over 100 yards. He was good yesterday. The Giants offense, man, I'm telling you, been running football yesterday. Couldn't get the ball to Odell Beckham Jr. He caught some garbage passes late, but Giants offense, man, it's woeful. New Orleans looking like it's starting right. They get Mark Ingram back this week, so I think their running game will get better. So that should allow the passing game to open up. But they just went out kind of business like. Giants jumped out 7-0, but they kind of dominated the rest of the football game. Late game, San Francisco. They lost to the Chargers. Happens. And then Seahawks come back and beat the Cardinals. Josh Rosen made his NFL debut yesterday. I thought he did some good things. You know, this is the guy I like in the draft. I liked it in the draft, so it was good to see my guy get a start yesterday. So Seahawks come back and win though, 2017 on the road. So we're not gonna talk about Pittsburgh last night. So tonight we have Denver, 2-1 Denver, in Kansas City. Kansas City going to Denver. I think this will be the first game where Pat Mahomes actually has some adversity tonight. That Denver secondary is really good. They got some good pass rushers. They can get out there a little bit. I picked the Chiefs to win though in a close game. I don't trust Case Keenum at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Nope. No, I don't trust Case Keenum. Not even a little bit. I repeat, I do not trust Case Keenum. I don't trust Case Keenum at all. So, kind of looking forward to this weekend, man. It's gonna be fun. Friday, I told you, Alumni Day in Calhoun Falls. I'm so looking forward to that. I'll be out there at 5 o'clock, starting my broadcast at 5. So get out there, check it out, then go root on your flashes at 7:30. And some prayers as well. But looking ahead to this week, see, I'm decked out in Florida blue. I meant to mention our big win over Mississippi State. Big game this weekend in the Swamp against LSU. LSU a top 5 team, as I mentioned earlier. They are number 5 in the AP poll. So LSU heading into the Swamp, so a top 5 team. So if you want to get in, 864-378-5943. 864-378-5943. You know what you're watching, the hottest sports podcast in the South, the best damn sports podcast, period. Sentell's Intel. I'm your host, sensational Sentell Whiteman. You know who I am. Get in here with your phone call. I see your comments down here. Also got this new little gadget right here. You can name your name and your comments right there. I look at, see, I try to improve the viewing experience. That's what I try to do here on this show. I try to make this show for the viewers. That's what I try to do here. It's about you people. It's about you people. So get in here on this overreaction Monday. Let's see if I can get an update on the that playoff game. It's a final now. The Dodgers did beat the Rockies, so the Dodgers are your NL West champions. So that means the Rockies and the Cubs tomorrow in the NL wildcard game. And my Atlanta Braves now are forced to go on the road to face the Dodgers. Good news is Clayton Kershaw pitched Sunday. So hopefully we avoid him in game 1. And well, I want to thank all of you tonight, and thank all the guys for the few comments that I got earlier. Wish I could have got a phone call or two, but that's not the case. But hey, it is what it is. I will be back Friday night, broadcasting live from Calhoun Falls on the practice field. You know who I am. This has been Sentell, the hottest sports podcast in the South, the best damn sports podcast, period. I will see you guys Friday night at 5 o'clock, live from Calhoun Falls. Cannot wait. See you then. I am out. Do you feel the